That was a lot of stairs.
Yeah, we're out of shape. Got to get back into shape. It's a good start.
So we have a new checklist now. Every time we leave the house to go explore anywhere, we have to make sure we have our masks and our sanitizer. So a couple extra things that we have to make sure we remember we bring so that we can keep traveling safely.
So it's kind of early Sunday morning. It's about 9 a.m. I guess not super early, but we are on our way to go check out Cella, which is a old Roman ruins here in Rabat. We don't know if it's open. We couldn't find anything to say whether or not it was open or it's going to be open just because of the pandemic, but we're going to walk out there nonetheless. It's about 2 miles, about 4 kilometers. So we'll see. So we're on the Avenue of Mohammed V. This is actually one of the main thoroughfares here, and kind of where all the museums, or a lot of the museums are, and embassies and things. And you can see it's really well maintained, nice gardens. So yeah, we're gonna walk down that way.
And we're standing in the shade because it is hot out here in the sun.
So walking through this on Mohammed V, could easily replace this in pretty much most any European city, with the exception of the minaret back there behind us. But yeah, it's beautiful, well kept, well maintained, and a lot of different styles of architecture here, but it's really pretty. So this is the Bab Zaire. It's a gate, I guess, coming into the Royal Palace area. That building off in the distance with the flag above it is actually the gate going into the Royal Palace grounds. Hopefully we'll be able to get by there later today. So we asked to go into the gate to the Royal Palace from the outside, and unfortunately they said we couldn't go in today. We understand, but maybe some other time we'll try to get in there and see what it looks like.
It looks pretty from the outside.
Yeah.
The building behind me is the Cella. It's one of the most visited sites here in Rabat. It's been a lot of things. It was a Roman colony, it was a Phoenician trading site, and it was also a Muslim necropolis until it was damaged by the 1755 Lisbon earthquake, and now it's in ruins. But it's still home to a lot of cats, and we've heard also a colony of storks. They've used it as a site for a jazz festival since 2005. And since 2012, it's been a World Heritage Site.
So we came here not really knowing whether it's open or not, and so we're about to walk up to the gate and find out if it's open or not, and we can get in.
Big bummer, the Cella is not open, so we can see the outside, but we can't see the inside. But we still feel like it was a really pretty walk over here, and the outside of this building is enormous and really awe-inspiring, so it's still totally worth the walk over, even if you can't get to the inside.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
So we are allowed to walk on the outside of it in the perimeter.
Big old aloe plants for our sunburn.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can go, like, take a piece. I'm not going to. Don't get mad at me. It's a pretty view.
Yeah, it is. You can see the Bab Zaire across the way there. The big wall, big fence, big gate, I guess. So we're actually behind the Cella. You can see the Beauregard River behind us here. Like Becky said, this is actually, it was a trade destination or a trade route for the Phoenicians, as well as a colony for the Romans. And you can see it's easy access to the river for trade routes. And we're about 2 miles away from the Atlantic Ocean, so it made accessibility really easy here. But it's a beautiful view nonetheless.
We found this really pretty path. We're not sure whether or not we're supposed to be down here, but there are these gorgeous purple flowers that are everywhere behind us. So we're gonna walk down the secret path and see where it takes us.
By the way, we're not wearing our masks because there's nobody else down here.
Yeah.
We are very isolated and secure.
But we'll put them on as soon as we see another person.
Yes. So we found this farm, it looks like, along with these nests where the storks are nesting. There's a stork.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You can see them on top. And then we found a new friend, a horse. You can see over the fence over there, I think, maybe. So if you come here, you're not actually able to get into the fort, which hopefully you are, but if you're not, it's definitely worth walking around the outside of it, at least for a little short hike. It took us about 30 minutes or so to get all the way around it, but it's beautiful scenery. You'll see some storks and nice views, and so we recommend it. And maybe even a horse. We saw a horse. So we're going to our old stomping grounds, to the Marjan. Just because there's a couple things we want to get, plus I would say we were kind of close. We're not really all that close from where we were, but we're coming from the other direction this time.
Yeah, it was kind of on the way. Plus, we get to see the Rabat Center open and what all the shops look like on the inside, so it won't look like a ghost town.
Yeah.
This is the Rabat Center now. So last time we showed you the Rabat Center, everything was boarded up and closed. Everything was very dark. So now there's some music. We've got some gardens. Everything is open back up. It's very pretty in here. If you look, you can see the direction signs to tell you which way to go to help you ease traffic. This is what the Marjan looks like now. The streets of Agdal look a little bit different now. We're back in our old stomping grounds, walking back from the Rabat Center. And it's actually much quieter out here than it was in the days before we left. I guess we saw a lot of people at the mall, and maybe people are doing better things than hanging out on the street. But yeah, lots of things are back open. It's nice to see everything kind of back in normal motion. All of the roadblocks are gone, so it's a bit different over here, but we like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're in Agdal, we're gonna walk by our old apartment and just say hello. I was very curious to see what the street would look like after the lockdown when we lived over here, and it's basically the same. It's still super quiet. There's not a lot of people out over here. I guess this is just a nice quiet spot to be.
So we came back to the Casbah today to find the gardens. We think it's this way, or at least I think it's this way. Becky hasn't really made an attempt, so if we get lost, it's my fault.
That made me sound lazy.
That's not what I meant. It's totally my fault if we get lost. So it is really nice wandering around, but unfortunately we found another dead end in the Casbah. We really like to see what this place is like when it's fully open. We do understand these are people's homes though, so maybe a lot of these things just stay closed off.
Just keep in mind when you're here, it's really easy to get lost and there's a lot of dead ends, so make sure you leave a breadcrumb trail.
Yeah.
It's unverified, but we think this is the outside entrance to the Andalusia Gardens. Everything is closed right now. They're doing some construction back there, and also it might be closed because of COVID. We're not sure why, but we can't get in there right now. What you should know is that we think this is the way in.
So we're heading to check out the Hassan Tower, another famous landmark here, leaving the Casbah. So we are about to walk back through the Medina and see some of the souks again. So this is the wall of the Medina. We're actually inside the Medina still. This looks like a school. I think it's a school right on the other side here. So we just stopped here at the Jardin Nusrat Hassan Garden. It's nice and shady, really cool and relaxing. We're gonna go check it out. It's right across the street from the Medina also, so it's pretty convenient. Looks like it's pretty big on the map, so we'll see. View right outside of the garden we were just in. This would be like kind of our downtown area. So driving and walking in Rabat seem pretty dangerous, both of them. Traffic rules, I mean we haven't driven so I don't know exactly what it's like, but seems like it's every man for himself. So I think we're just about to the Tower of Hassan. It's pretty much a straight shot from the garden that we were at. Probably walk about 15 minutes straight down the street or the avenue when we get here.
We found the gardens and now we are looking for the Hassan Tower. I think it's coming up right here.
So the Hassan Tower is actually a pretty cool history. It's only half built and it's a minaret. So a minaret is basically the tall structure next to or attached to a mosque where they announce the call to prayer. It was commissioned in 1195 by the Caliph at the time, but they stopped construction once he died, and I guess they never finished it. But still impressive, still pretty big. I think it's about half the height that it was supposed to be too, so it was supposed to be really tall. So unfortunately, like many other things here in Rabat, or I guess in Morocco in general, we're not really able to get in to get a closer look, but as you can see the tower and its height. So right now as it stands, I think it's about 45 meters tall. And it was supposed to be 86 meters at its highest when they finished building it. It's really well maintained property here, also adjacent to and next to the Hassan Tower. Really nice gardens and trees, and the flags look crisp and red.
Around the Hassan Tower was supposed to be the biggest mosque in the world. So if you look behind me, you can see a lot of columns. There are actually 348 columns that would have been the pillars for the mosque. If you look way back there, you can even see some of the partial walls that they were building that would have encircled the mosque.
So we're standing in front of the Mausoleum of Mohammed V. It was actually completed in 1971, so it's a fairly new building compared to a lot of the other buildings around here. So we've made some market videos before, but we're at it again. It's Saturday. This is like, I guess 2 days after the quarantine, and things are quite a bit busier now.
It's so much busier.
So much more activity. It's really nice, really fun. It's having to work a little bit harder to avoid cars. We're gonna be a cat rooster competition. So we stopped for a break and we wanted to get something a little bit more traditional Moroccan food. So we stopped at this place called McDonald's. Just kidding. Yeah, it's good, just like home. The food tastes the same. So we had a nice walk going down some stairs, but what goes up must come down. Wait. No. Because we came, never mind. We had to walk uphill. And this, folks, is how I lose the quarantine 15. Don't mind me breathing heavy. I'm really, actually, not breathing that heavy. It's just wind noise.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Sorry. So
So we just made a stop here at the Jardin Nusrat Hassan Garden. Jardin, I'm sorry, I'm saying it in Spanish. Jardin Nusrat Hassan Garden.
You're gonna start over.
No, keep going. So we just made a stop here at the Jardin.
Nope.
Jardin. Yeah, let's start over.
We found the gardens and now we are wandering. Sorry, I thought that you were gonna keep moving. Can you start? Or I'll just start again.